go, everyone. Smoke. Throwing a grenade. Incendiary out. Deploying flashbang. Laying down smoke. Laying down smoke. Incendiary.
Bóng.
Counter-terrorists win. You're a champion.
Anyone spot me a weapon?
Move it.
Wait.
Throwing smoke.
Throwing fire. Grenade.
Yo. New pin check.
Grenade.
Yo.
Cùng á. Bóng xài.
Counter-terrorists win.
Jesus.
Let's go.
Especially when I can't just play.
Throwing incendiary.
Throwing flashbang. Incendiary out. Grenade up.
You have time. You have a kid.
I got it. Flashbang out.
Nice.
Counter-terrorists win.
All right.
This guy's actually from China, by the way.
Move it.
Incendiary out.
Flashbang.
Grenade out.
here, bro. Go B. I think he's catwalk on B.
Flashbang out.
Jungle, jungle.
So that's actually my friend Lee, who's jungle. Oh, bomb. Why didn't you say anything?
Counter-terrorist win.
Oh, yes!
Come on, let's go.
你从哪来？
你空
你从哪来？
你空哪来？
Time now, my brother.
Go green.
绿色的。
So my computer's doing that whole like kind of this thingy.
Got a plan. Bomb has been planted. Terrorists win. All right.
Dude, he was speaking Chinese earlier.
Okay, I'm feeling a bit good about this one. Flashbang.
Maybe it's not Chinese. Oh my god. Jesus.
I'm laying down some smoke.
Okay, I smoked mid. One's coming right here.
Bomb has been
I hear him on me.
terrorists win. Fan bloody tastic.
It's rejected.
This is all right. Smoke.
Yellow, wait.
I'm throwing smoke.
For the smoke.
Fire in the hole. Okay, I'm setting it down here. Bomb has been planted.
You have a nade, yellow. Upstairs. Nice.
Terrorists win.
Very good.
Die.
Wait, Charlie Brothers? They're friends.
Move it, move it. The guy's out.
All three of you, are you from China?
Throwing flashbang.
Yo, can I get an answer?
Molotov
bro?
out. Throwing smoke.
Yeah.
Where from in China?
Jiangsu.
I've never heard of that.
Counter-terrorists win.
And where are my servers? In Virginia. And these guys are playing from all the way in fucking China. And they have the same ping as me.
Hit it.
Thousands of hours.
I'm throwing a flashback.
The thousands in schools.
Smoke. Throwing smoke shield. I'm setting the bomb. Bomb has been planted. Grenade out. It's gonna go. Terrorists win. All right, good on you. Let's go. Throwing smoke. I'm throwing smoke. Let's throw the grenade.
I should have B free. Type AFK.
I'm planting the bomb.
Why couldn't I walk? We all make mistakes.
Let's get in and out.
Oh! Dude, that's basically like getting a kill, dude. Hell yeah.
Throwing smoke.
You outbaited him so hard he killed his teammate, dude.
Throwing a Molotov. Activating the bomb. Flashbang out. Bomb has been planted. Terrorists win. Right there. Right there. Yeah. Guys, I tell you, we kill them all. Smoke! Smoke! Flashbang! Smoking! Throwing a flashbang! Laying down some fire. Throwing a grenade!
Nice boys.
Throwing a grenade!
I'm sorry.
Fire! Smoke!
Oh, how do I tell him I'm sorry?
Bomb has been planted. Terrorists win. All right.
我永远感到抱歉。
Let's go. Let's go.
Wait. Breeze speaks English?
I'm throwing a flashbang.
He lives in Wisconsin? Breeze, you speak Chinese, but you live in Wisconsin? What? One's cat.
I'm laying down some smoke.
Nice.
Planted. Bomb has been planted. I'm
They
throwing
won't
fire.
believe. Nice.
We
Oh,
will
I've never
dance on
seen
your
this
grave.
happen.
We have defeated them.
No, 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 no. Nice. Alright, let's see if anyone wants to play. Who's this guy? Who's this guy? Ultimately, what map should we do? Ultimately, what map should we do?
Throwing smoke. I'm throwing smoke. I'm throwing a grenade.
Did I fall off, bro? What the fuck is wrong with me? Shit. I'm gonna pull up Discord and hope I don't leak everything. Good.
Let's roll. Let's get in and get out. Come on, let's go.
Yeah.
She walks so slow when you get shot.
Short, short.
Bomb has been planted.
So where you watching?
C3.
I'm throwing a flashbang. Bomb has been planted.
Last one stairs.
Terrorists win.
Mirage.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's take me.
Now is the time.
Alright, I'm taking A. I'll come with you guys.
I'm laying down some smoke.
D.
Throwing flashbang.
Fuck.
No, it's sight.
I'm coming. I'm flashing.
Throwing flashbang. Grenade!
Nice. Get that plane down.
Activating the bomb. Bomb has been planted.
Watching market.
He's really shittily watching market now. They could have a guy come from the right. He could be right there or there. No shot, right? Why? Did they really buy that much? We find them. Maybe.
Terrorists win. All right. Let's go. Throwing smoke. Throwing smoke. Flashbang. Throwing flashbang.
Second E.
Counter-terrorists win.
Okay, Abby.
We need to eco. Truth, can you buy pistols for everybody?
Tech 9s.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Go Tech 9s. Let's go B.
Dude, someone's missing that. I'm sorry, man. Yeah, I don't like to be the one to pick the last kid kickball, but yeah. Anybody used to.
His sight or van.
So -2. +1 AK. We're already on 100% RLI.
One cat, one market.
Been planted.
Parket.
Nice throw, guys. Go A. Our A can be a E.
Go, go, go!
Abby, no.
Throwing smoke!
Chill out.
Smoke! I'm throwing smoke. Counter-terrorists win. Go, go, go!
Puck's got 0 kills. This is actually just a skill differential problem.
Smoke!
Should have put a decoy there.
Counter-terrorists win.
This could be in a fucking scenario, dude.
We must win.
Short.
Burn to the ground.
We are likely to get picked off here.
I hear him stairs.
Oh,
Counter-terrorists win. No more talking. Now we fight.
thank you, Bogdan Lularello.
I'm laying down some smoke. Smoke!
Waiting for my smoke.
CT. Good shit, my dude. Aw, nice try.
Damn.
Counter-terrorists win.
Shit, no one you're not.
Let's go, my brother.
Short.
Come with us, eh?
I'm planting the bomb.
Top of mid, top of mid.
Bomb has been planted. Throwing smoke.
Jump.
Terrorists win. Yes! Move it, move it. Throwing a flashbang.
Just wait.
Stop walking into their nades.
They have like, they use so much U2, bro.
Two, there's one close and one
Throwing a
jungle.
grenade. Terrorists win. Fly like rockets before you die. Come on, let's go.
I'm gonna fake going here.
Smoke. Molotov. Smoke. Flashbang. Throwing bomb. Grenade. Flashbang.
There's one connector.
Fire.
One coming CT, I hear him. Yeah, T-spawn, my bad.
I'm throwing a flashbang. Planted.
Oh, he is like coming to CT spawn.
I'm throwing a grenade. I'm throwing a grenade. Terrorists win. Mirage.
Not bad.
Right, lads. We're on. Come on, jump, jump. Throwing flashbang. Grenade. Throwing fire. Bomb has been planted.
Sandwich.
I'm actually the worst player.
Bro.
75 and 5.
Eco. Don't.
Gear up. We are going on a windy walk here. Grenade out. Throwing flashbang.
Summon me, I'm dead.
Coming.
He's in apps.
Counter-terrorists win. Easy peasy
There's an
lemon
AK by Arches.
squeezy. Move it, son. Throwing fire. Grenade out. Incendiary.
Apps?
One
lap
underpass.
under.
One underpass.
More apps? Lots of them apps?
Flashbang.
I hear him going under.
Laying down smoke.
Nice.
Deploying flashbang.
Apps.
Bombed apps. I think backing off to underpass. Never mind.
Yeah. Got it.
Counter-terrorists win. Woo! I like this.
He's in pallet. Can I get a drop? Can I get a drop? And you.
Go, go, go. Throwing a grenade. Laying down smoke. Throwing fire. Incendiary out.
Why the fuck no one owns meat?
Throwing smoke.
That was possibly Chinese.
Fire in the hole.
No shot. Oh no. What do I do?
Bomb has been planted. Terrorists win.
Not bad. 3 down.
Good shit.
Next time someone go meat and we're in the...
I love this Huck guy.
Get ready. This is a
Have
free
one
fire
mid
zone.
here.
Hey, Truth, can you push me over, the jet?
One ramp, multiple ramp. I'm scared.
They're A. They're A.
Bomb has been planted. Incendiary.
This guy's right there.
Terrorists
You
win.
traded, what? And
Hey,
he's-
fucking Boy Scouts, why the fuck do you go 3 at the time at each site every single time?
We need one more eco. Yeah.
Damn.
Let's go.
Huck, where do you want us to go?
Don't go 3 at the
Hey,
time
Green,
to one
can you
side,
boost me?
it's not that hard. Fucking A, 2A, 2B, 1 mid.
Green.
Easy as stuff. Fuck.
One ramp, 2 ramp.
A lot ramp. Sick guys have this.
Bomb has been planted.
I'll go mid. Oop, never mind.
I believe. I can go mid.
Yeah.
We are out of here. Grenade. Smoke.
This smoke me. There's at least one top mid.
Deploying flashbang.
Under.
Throwing flashbang. Throwing smoke.
Nice.
Middle.
Counter-terrorists win.
Easy as
Oh, you're a genius, McFly. Chet, would you drink this?
Gear up. What's going in? Grenade out.
They smoked me on top mid.
Incendiary.
utility.
Top to Uto A.
Down we.
Bomb has been planted. Throwing fire. Grenade out. Incendiary out.
Upstairs.
Tetris,
Tetris. You gotta go though. Up there and to your left, yellow.
Deploying flashbang. Diffusing.
Top left.
Bomb has been defused. Counter-terrorists win. Oh, it's a piece of cake, so it is.
This guy actually is stupid. Those shot there 3 stacked. What games do they normally play? Gotta check reviews, games. We know the fucking.
Move it, move it.
We've got the hacks.
Incendiary.
One top mid.
Incendiary out.
Apartments 4 under.
Laying down smoke. Heavy area.
Batter him. Connector.
Connector.
Catwalk.
Short. Coming.
So we actually are going to be doing a skin giveaway.
Flashbang.
They might be city. They might.
50 subscribers. We're going to give away.
He's ca-
Bomb down.
Wait, that's
I mean,
genius.
rotate to bomb.
How do you do it?
Counter-terrorists
Oh,
win.
shit.
Now you're
There's
right
an
on.
hop on.
You're right on. Are we rushing in, or are we going sneaky beaky like? Throwing fire. Grenade out.
Perfect.
Smoke.
Apartments.
Counter-terrorists win. Clear, lads. scope. Throwing fire. Throwing a grenade. Throwing smoke.
Utility.
Incendiary out.
Just there.
This
Bomb bay.
Throwing
So-
fire. Throwing grenade. Counter-terrorists win. We're getting stuck right into them. Go, go, go. Incendiary out. Grenade. Laying down smoke.
Top mid with an auto. Oh, Jacob.
Throwing flashbang. Throwing fire.
You're actually toxic.
That's so fucking funny. You thought it was top mid.
I didn't think our teammate bombed.
Yeah,
Under.
Shit.
Okay.
Yeah, their apartments.
We need to know our ranks.
Grenade.
I can tell you based off this guy's nade here.
Throwing fire.
Listen, I'm not smart.
Throwing flashbang. Incendiary.
Ben.
Terrorists win.
Hey, at least I didn't get any XP for that. Oh! Alright, that's gonna need to get that drop. So, yeah. And no one who I. Okay, we can keep going here. And no one who I.
Let me show you something unbelievable. Name a random number between 1 and 100.
61.
Okay, that's pretty random.
Just name a random number from 1.
Alright, we'll do this. Hold on. Alright, what are we doing here? I was trying to figure out. That's all I was trying to do. So now we can do this. Full screen. OBS.
To 100, random.
43.
43. Thank you so much.
56.
Actually, no, I have to do. That good? What if I do this? Yeah.
I want the most random number between 1 and 100, like totally random.
11.
37.
79. 79. Thank you so much.
91. 7.
3.
37.
37? Why 37?
I don't know, it's just the first number that came from my mind. 44. 27?
37. 72.
4. 13.
7. 37.
Really?
59. Merci.
13.
7.
37.
37.
73.
37. 35. 37.
37. No way.
43.
2.
37.
I knew you were gonna do it. You just 37 and walked away.
Between 1 and 100.
No thanks.
Okay.
37.
Oh, perfect. Thank you so much.
83. 37.
37.
87.
55. 37. 37. Oh, can I shake your hand?
I love the thought you're putting into this.
37?
No, you are kidding me! Are you real?
What?
Did we ask you this already?
No.
Random number between 1 to 100.
37.
37. Oh my gosh, yes.
Name a random number between 1 and 100.
37.
Are you kidding me? Why?
It's a good number, I guess. Any number.
Where did that come from?
Imagination, I suppose.
So, what's going on? Well, people are actually really bad at selecting things randomly. In fact, when asked to pick a color and a number, people reliably select blue and 7 the most across dozens of different cultures. Psychologists have a name for this pattern, the blue 7 phenomenon. And when picking a random number between 1 and 100, it has long been suggested that the equivalent of the blue 7 phenomenon is the number 37. My producer Emily and I spoke to hundreds of people to test this theory. The most common answer was 7, but maybe that's because people just expected that we'd ask them for numbers between 1 and 10. The most common 2-digit number really was 37, much to our surprise. So we decided to embark on the biggest investigation ever on the number 37. And it took us to some unexpected places.
I think 37 is a fascinating number. It's just really interesting because it turns up so much. How many objects are there here in the room with us that have a 37 on them? I'm sure there's more than 1,000 here. I built the 37 website in 1994. I started getting email from strangers. It's everywhere. I'm trying to collect them all. We're tireless. The tireless cabal of 37 people. Yeah.
Apparently, people choose 37 so reliably that there's even a widespread professional magic trick that relies entirely on getting an audience member to just pick 37 out of thin air. It's called the 37 force.
I'm going to ask you to think of a number in a moment, okay? It's a 2-digit number. It's less than 50. Both numbers are odd but different. You could have 19, 17, or 15, but not 11, because you see both numbers are the same, 1 and 1, next to one another. Are you ready? 1, 2, and 3. What number did you think of? 37.
What's up?
Fascinating.
In the famous Stanford MIT jargon file, The Origin of Hacker Slang, 37 is given as the random number of choice for computer programmers. When groups of people are polled to pick a random number between 1 and 100, the most commonly chosen number is 37. The thing is, no formal polls on this actually exist. The best we found was a Reddit poll of 1,380 people from 4 years ago. And the most popular number was 69. But after that, the winning number was 37. But we could do better than a sample size of just 1,000 people. So we conducted the largest random number survey ever. In a community post 3 weeks ago, we asked people to pick a random number between 1 and 100. We received 200,000 responses. Here are the results as they came in. It's fascinating to watch how consistent these supposedly random numbers are, from 10,000 to 100,000, all the way up to 200,000 respondents. The distribution barely changes, suggesting that people from all around the world think about random numbers in a particular way, and it is decidedly not random. Ignoring the extremes of the scale because people were primed by the numbers 1 and 100 in the question itself, and ignoring 42 and 69 because they're not random, there are a few numbers that stand out, which we seem to regard as more random. A few numbers, and ignoring 42 and 69 because they're not random, there are a few numbers that stand out, which we seem to regard as more random than the rest. 7, 73, 77, and 37.
7's just a good random, dude.
Then we asked people to pick the number they thought the fewest others would pick. The goal was to get rid of favorite or lucky numbers and give truly random selections. And here, the results were even clearer. Again, ignoring the very extremes and 50 in the middle, the most selected numbers were far and away 73 and 37, which were nearly tied. The actual least picked number in the first question was 90, followed by 30, 40, 70, 80, and 60. Multiples of 10 apparently don't seem that random. The most picked overall numbers, ignoring the outliers, were 73 and 37. Ironically, all this evidence points to 37 and its inversion, 73, as not being random at all. So why does everyone pick them? Well, one argument is that this is just how people perceive randomness. 37. Does that feel random to you?
Yeah. Yeah, it does.
Yeah, 50 wouldn't be random.
No. It would be too contrived.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's too sensitive.
I think people think that even numbers are less random than odd numbers.
5 feels not random. 9 and 1 feel too extreme, so people tend towards 3 and 7.
This is backed up by the fact that every one of the top numbers in our survey consisted of 3s and 7s. In fact, 3 and 7 were the most selected digits on both questions. But there's also a mathematical case for humanity's number of choice, because it's not just odd numbers, but specifically primes which feel like the most random numbers. Notice how we ignore odds ending in 5s, or how something like 39 still feels a little less random than 37. Primes feel random for at least 2 reasons. First, they don't appear as much in our lives. Pixel counts, fruit boxes, square footage. We live in a composite world with multiple dimensions that multiply together. So we just don't see primes much past the single digits. Second, we don't have a formula for primes. If you have a prime number and you want to find the next one, you have no choice but to check every number until you find a prime. The closest thing we have to a formula is the prime number theorem, which gives the approximation that the nth prime number occurs around n times natural log of n. For example, the 1000th prime number should be around 6,908, and it's close, but certainly not exact. So primes essentially occur at random. But of all the primes, 37 has reason to stand out. If we were to find the prime factors of every number, we would see that 2 is the smallest prime factor for exactly half of them, all of the even numbers. And 3 is the smallest prime factor for a sixth of all numbers, anything that's divisible by 3 but not by 2, and so on. As we pick larger and larger primes, they form the smallest prime factor for fewer and fewer integers. But what if we track the second smallest prime factor of each number? Well, first we have 3, which is the second prime factor of a number only when the number is divisible by both 2 and 3, or divisible by 6. So 1/6 of all numbers have a second prime factor of 3. And as we keep going, which number will end up at the balancing point? This is the median second prime factor of all numbers from 1 all the way up to a googol and off to infinity. Would you believe that that number is 37? For a sixth number of choice, because it's not just odd numbers, but specifically primes which feel like the most random numbers. Notice how we ignore odds ending in 5s, or how something like 39 still feels a little less random than 37. Primes feel random for at least 2 reasons. First, they don't appear as much in our lives. Pixel counts, fruit boxes, square footage. We live in a composite world with multiple dimensions that multiply together, so we just don't see primes much past the single digits. Second, we don't have a formula for primes. If you have a prime number and you want to find the next one, you have no choice but to check every number until you find a prime. The closest thing we have to a formula is the prime number theorem, which gives the approximation that the nth prime number occurs around n times natural log of n. For example, the 1000th prime number should be around 6,908, and it's close, but certainly not exact. So primes essentially occur at random. But of all the primes, 37 has reason to stand out. If we were to find the prime factors of every number, we would see that 2 is the smallest prime factor for exactly half of them, all of the even numbers. And 3 is the smallest prime factor for a sixth of all numbers, anything that's divisible by 3 but not by 2, and so on. As we pick larger and larger primes, they form the smallest prime factor for fewer and fewer integers. But what if we track the second smallest prime factor of each number? Well, first we have 3, which is the second prime factor of a number only when the number is divisible by both 2 and 3, or divisible by 6. So 1/6 of all numbers have a second prime factor of 3. And as we keep going, which number will end up at the balancing point? This is the median second prime factor of all numbers from 1 all the way up to a googol and off to infinity. Would you believe that that number is 37? Let's take a look at 5. 5 is the second prime factor only when a number is divisible by 5 and 3, but not 2, or 5 and 2, but not 3. In the first case, a number divisible by 5 and 3 means it's divisible by 15, so that's 1/15 of all numbers. But it also can't be divisible by 2, so half of 1/15 is a 30th of all numbers. In the second case, a number divisible by 5 and 2 means it's divisible by 10. But it cannot be divisible by 3, so we're left with 1/10 times 2/3 equals 1/15 of all numbers. Adding up these two cases, we get that 1/10 of all numbers have 5 as their second prime factor. And we can repeat this for the next prime, 7. Just take each of these cases and add them up to get that 1/15 of all integers have a second prime factor of 7, and so on. Keeping a running total, we quickly approach a balancing point for the second prime factor across all integers. And then we reach it. So the median second prime factor of all numbers is 37. Half of numbers have a second prime factor of 37 or less. There are other remarkable qualities about 37 as a prime. It's an irregular prime, a Cuban prime, a lucky prime, a sexy prime, a permutable prime, a Padovan prime, and at this point mathematicians might just be making up types of primes.
37's identity as a prime number is so strong that the same day I first learned the number 37, I learned it was prime. This was one of my first books as a toddler. It teaches you every number from 1 to 100 with a short story or fun fact for each. So for 26, that's how many letters are in the alphabet, or for 30, they give the days of September, or for 52, that's how many cards are in a deck. Except 37. It's a prime number. Nothing goes into it. Someday, you'll understand. I did not like that. I understood every other number, so I also wanted to understand 37. So that number has nagged me ever since, and now this video is being made some 20 years later.
Not convinced yet?
If you take a number that is a multiple of 37 already, like 1369, that's 37 squared, and then you reverse it, and then you stick a 0 in between every digit, then that number is a multiple of 37. And I literally spent the next month on the bus trying to prove that fact, which I finally did. Just rattle off a 6-digit number. Tell me any 6-digit number.
4, 1, 3, 6, 2, 5.
And it's not divisible by 37. So how did I figure that out? There's a trick for that.
Is this your party trick that you can bring out?
Surprisingly, it doesn't impress as many people as you would think. I think it should impress everybody.
But there's also a practical reason 37 is an important number for humanity. Say you're faced with a choice that is both immediate and final, like whether to rent the apartment you've just toured, or whether to accept a job offer you received. Or it can be as small as whether to stop at the next gas station on a road trip. These are all problems where you can't assess all the options at once, and then decide. With each option you encounter, you need to decide whether to accept it or reject it forever, and see what comes next. In these scenarios, it feels impossible to make the best choice. If you select too early, you'll probably never even see the best option. But if you select too late, well then you've probably rejected the best option already. So your best bet is somewhere in the middle. There you know at least some information from the options you've seen, and you have some choice to select or pass. But how do you know exactly when to decide? The optimal strategy looks like this. First, you need to see some options and reject them automatically, just to learn what's out there. And then, at a certain stopping point S, you need to stop rejecting them and start evaluating whether an option is the best you've seen so far. If it is, then select it. But when should that stopping point be? We need to work out which stopping point maximizes our chances of picking the best option. We can calculate these chances. For each spot, find the probability that the best option is located there, times the probability we get there from stopping point S. Then add these probabilities up across every spot. Now, the chance of the best option being in any spot is just random. If there are n options in total, it's 1 over n. But it's a little harder to find the chances of getting to each spot. Say the best option is in the next spot after S plus 1. What are the chances we get there? Well, since this is the next spot over from the stopping point, we have a 100% chance of getting there, so we're guaranteed to visit it and select it. But if the true best option is in spot S plus 2, well, there's a small chance we'll miss it. If the best of all the previous options is sitting in spot S plus 1, we would just pick that and stop looking before reaching S plus 2. There's a 1 in S plus 1 chance of this happening. So the chances we do get to spot S plus 2 to pick the true best option is 1 minus that, or S over S plus 1. This same calculation continues up until the last spot N. We only get here if we've been passing on every option so far, which means that one of the first S options must have been the best of the total n-1 options we've seen. In total, this gives us the expression 1 over n times 1 plus s over s plus 1 plus s over s plus 2, and so on all the way up to s over n minus 1. Factoring out the s, the sum inside the parentheses approximates the function 1 over x, going from s to n. Taking that integral, we get the natural log of n over s. So the probability we select the best option is s over n times the natural log of n over s. To maximize this probability, we can find the peak of this function by setting its derivative to 0. And this gives the natural log of s over n equals -1. So s over n equals 1 over e, or about 37%. So explore and reject 37% of options just to get a sense of what's out there. And then pick the first option to come along that's better than all of the ones you've seen so far. And your chances of success using this method are also 37%. This math question is known as the secretary problem or the marriage problem, as it also applies to hiring the best employees or even deciding on the best life partner. Now, it can be impractical to check 37% of the options because you don't always know how many candidates are out there. But the 37% rule also works for time. So if you want to get married, say, in 10 years, then spend the first 3.7 years seeing what's out there, and then select the next person who's better than anyone you've seen. So 37 is actually important to our lives, and people seem to subconsciously recognize this. We gravitate towards the number everywhere.
Seconds.
37 years.
37 pounds?
I was 37.
37 cubic feet.
37.
37.
How many enemies do you have?
37.
37%? 37.
37 hours. Destroyed 37 restaurants. 37? I'm 37.
37 interlocking bronze gears. Page 37. 37 years old. 37 prototypes.
37%.
This collection of images, everything you're seeing on screen, has been collected by one man over the course of his life. And you already know who it is.
It's just fun, right? The whole thing is just fun. How many objects are there here in the room with us that have a 37 on them? This is probably on the order of 4 digits, I'd say. There's probably not 10,000, but I'm sure there's more than 1,000 here. Nutri-Grain granola bars, 37 grams. It's a 37-inch yardstick. It's just some political cartoon about sports, but there's no reason that guy had to have jersey number 37. A nail that I found somewhere that has 37 on the head, I don't even know what that means. One time, my mom gave me $37 for my birthday. They all have 37 in the serial number.
Was your 37th birthday like the greatest birthday ever?
I had a big party and I invited everybody I knew. The Texas State Lottery was $37 million. So I had 2 different friends who both gave me 37 lottery tickets. I didn't win, I won $5. This is an article from when they found the 37th Mersenne Prime. It's just clipping after clipping. How many hundreds of these do you want me to go through? I must have gotten that in Germany, but I don't know, but I don't remember what it was. Was it like a locker number? I wouldn't steal a locker number. I've never stolen for 37. Look at that. Stolen from the highway when I was on a road trip.
I heard you say you've never stolen
I have
anything.
committed a crime.
Yes.
There was a bookstore on campus when I was an undergrad at KU, and there were 37 steps in that staircase. Useful facts. These are useful facts.
Do you feel like everyone gets 37 this much in their lives, or do you feel like you're just attracting it?
That's a good question. You know, the reason I started was because it seemed like it turned up a lot. I started back in the 80s. There was a comedy routine by Charles Fleischer, and he went through this sort of litany of coincidences about the number 37, like there are 37 holes in the speaker part of a telephone. Shakespeare wrote 37 plays, there's 37 movements in Beethoven's 9 symphonies. There are all these amazing coincidences that he rattled off. I was amazed, and I've been collecting them ever since like 1981. Yeah, so 43?
What's the word on
43 years probably.
Don't waste my time.
I built the 37 website for the first time in 1994. I don't know how the website got out there, but somehow it got out there. I started getting email from strangers. I've got maybe a half a dozen people from around the world who every week or month will post their latest batch of 37s that they've seen out and about.
And they've been doing this for how long?
18 years.
Wow.
We're tireless. The tireless cabal of 37 people. Yeah.
Do you have anything to say to anyone who might be like, 37, that's just a base 10 representation of that number?
I am also interested in the number 37 in all of its various other forms, Roman numerals, binary numbers, 100, 101 by the way, numbers in any other base, 25 in hexadecimal, 45 in octal.
Do you think you're gonna keep looking for 37, been collecting 37 for your whole life?
Yeah, I can't see any reason to stop. Yeah, for sure.
So maybe there's even something innately, universally special about this number. We can argue special coincidences for many numbers, but we need to finally address the elephant in the room. The sheer amount of brainpower 37 secretly takes up in our collective minds. It's humanity's go-to random number, one of our most prominent prime numbers, and most of all, our ideal number for making decisions. Maybe that's why we're inclined to it naturally. It feels right to us as where to settle and what to pick. Though with this video, we may have ruined randomness even further. I mean, the next time anyone asks people to pick a random number between 1 and 100, more people than ever might be saying 37.
It's been the story of my life that I intend to take everything that I have here and turn them all into individual facts on that website. But the website's been there untouched for 27 years and it hasn't happened. It doesn't look like it's ever gonna happen.
Maybe on the 37th anniversary, you can get it all done.
This video is brought to you by CuriosityStream.
Is he already shooting at me?
For as long as humans have existed, there's been an impenetrable barrier between us and the rest of the animal kingdom. A barrier of understanding and connection. The original language barrier. We've made some headway with animals like dogs, who can understand simple commands. And there's currently a massive endeavor to translate whale language into ours, a subject we'll talk more about in a future video. But when it comes down to sitting face to face with an animal and conversing about thoughts, feelings, and emotions, we've never quite bridged the divide. However, the closest we may have ever gotten was with Coco, the western lowland gorilla. As an ambassador for her critically endangered species, Coco was world-renowned for her love of cats, friendship with Robin Williams, and an incredible ability to communicate through American Sign Language. Born at the San Francisco Zoo in 1971, Coco was rejected by her mother and became severely ill. Stanford University grad student Francine Patterson soon took her in to care for her and taught her sign language as part of her doctorate work in developmental psychology. After decades of work, Coco developed a vocabulary of over 1,000 words. Coco could reason about the world, communicate her needs, and even grieve other beings. She gave us a glimpse of what great apes could be capable of. While gorillas aren't our closest living relatives, we share about 98% of our DNA with them. And even though our brains are larger and more complex, gorillas are incredibly smart. But if you were to come across a gorilla in the wild, your first thought probably wouldn't be about how nuanced and intelligent they are. Instead, you'd probably be telling yourself you've had a good run of it as your life flashed before your eyes. Gorillas aren't necessarily aggressive to humans, but you sure wouldn't want to stick around to find out, because gorillas are absolutely gigantic and monstrously strong. They're one of the most impressive examples of remarkable intelligence meeting incredible strength in the animal kingdom. Gorillas are the largest of the great apes and live in equatorial Africa. There are two species, the eastern and western gorillas, which are separated by about 560 miles or 900 kilometers of Congo Basin forest. Each species has a lowland and upland subspecies. They live in family groups of usually 5 to 10, but sometimes as few as 2 and up to as many as 50. Gorillas are also defined by profound sexual dimorphism. with smaller females and supersized males. These giant males lead the family groups and hold the position of authority for years. They're known as silverbacks due to the saddle of gray or silver hair on the lower part of their back. And these adult males are extremely strong. An average silverback gorilla can weigh up to 180 kilograms and can easily deadlift over 450 kilograms, 2.5 times their body weight. Average humans, on the other hand, would struggle to deadlift only 1 times their body weight. But the strongest gorillas can lift much more than that. It's estimated a gorilla can lift 815 kilograms, 4.5 times its body weight. The human deadlift record is 501 kilograms, 3.3 times his body weight. So even accounting for size, gorillas are much stronger than humans. And this is despite the fact that we have a similar muscle mass-to-weight ratio, which is about 38% for human and gorilla males. So how are gorillas that much stronger? One reason is that the incredible weight of gorillas is supported by denser bones that are more resistant to fractures and breaks. Bones are made up of 3 different types of tissue that each perform a different function. At the ends is subchondral tissue, which is smooth to provide frictionless movement. The hard outer shell is made of compact tissue, which is strong and able to resist fracture. And the interior is cancellous or trabecular tissue, which is sponge-like and porous to allow for flexibility. Compared to humans, gorillas' cancellous tissue has a higher density, making it stronger. In addition to their bone composition allowing for their extra strength, their bone structure does so as well. Like other great apes, gorillas have straight and continuous brow ridges that stick out over their eyes. And males have something called the sagittal crest, which is a bony ridge at the top of the skull. These pronounced bones provide a more extensive muscle attachment area, which helps support weaker bones in the skull and reduces strains when chewing hard foods like sticks. But the most surprising thing about a gorilla's strength is that they basically don't eat any meat at all to get this yoked. Gorillas are omnivores, but their diet consists mostly of plant matter, such as stems, bamboo shoots, and fruits. The only limited amount of animals that they do consume are insects, such as ants or termites. To digest and absorb nutrients from such a fibrous food source, gorillas are equipped with an extra long gut. And their hindgut, which consists of the cecum and colon, make up about half of their total gut volume, compared to just 20% in humans. If you've ever wondered why gorillas have a big potbelly, that's why. Each day, they eat about 18 kilograms of food, and much of this weight is comprised of the compound cellulose. This is the fibrous molecule that gives plants their structure and rigidity. And surprisingly, this is the secret ingredient gorillas use to get so muscular. This is surprising because cellulose itself is just made of lots of sugar molecules chained together. There's no protein in it. Humans can't even digest cellulose. It simply passes right through us. And technically, gorillas can't either. At least, not by themselves. What gorillas have that we do not is a microbiome of bacteria that do readily break down cellulose, producing digestible sugars and volatile fatty acids. These fatty acids are then taken up by the gorilla and used for energy and to synthesize complex molecules such as protein. So it's the bacteria in their gut that provides them with the protein that they need. This is a process known as hindgut fermentation and is similar to how horses and cows digest their food. And with all this brawn, when gorillas decide to start throwing punches, it can get ugly. When 2 groups meet, the leading silverbacks can sometimes engage in a fight to the death, mainly using their sharp canines to cause deep, gaping injuries. Gorillas have a bite force of 9 megapascals, stronger than a lion, grizzly bear, or spotted hyena. But fortunately, extreme aggression is rare in stable gorilla groups. In fact, these groups are social, collaborative, and extremely complex. Western lowland gorillas have to travel to find the right food. Their day begins at dawn, and they set off into the forest, led by a silverback male. They eat as they walk along, and if they find a fruit tree, they'll climb its branches to get to the fruit. Once they're done for the day, they demonstrate a remarkable behavior. Each gorilla builds a nest on the ground and sleeps there for the night. By all appearances, this looks like tool use. But scientists don't all agree. To understand more about gorilla behavior and social structures, I talked to Dr. Robin Morrison, postdoctoral research fellow at the Dian Fossey Gorilla Fund.
A nest is one of the most complex tools. You use it, it's really important. But it's not classically been termed as a tool. But gorillas build a nest every day. And you can see that the small ones will try and do it, they're learning, and it'll be a bit of a mess and it won't be as good. So there is real kind of skill involved in building these nests, and they are pretty comfy.
While nest building by gorillas might be considered tool use rather than animal architecture, in other contexts, tool use is rarely seen by wild gorillas, especially when compared to other ape species, such as chimps and bonobos. In fact, because gorillas live in what some scientists have called the Great Salad Bowl, where their favorite foods are plentiful, for a long time it was thought that gorillas didn't use tools besides nests in the wild at all. That is, until 2005. At an observation site in the northern Congo, scientists watched as one female gorilla used a walking stick to test the water depth in front of her as she waded into a pool. And another female from a different troop used a large branch to balance herself as she foraged for aquatic plants, and then used it as a bridge to help her cross a swampy patch of land. More recently, in 2013, researchers watched a mother gorilla sitting in a bamboo thicket hold onto a bamboo pole as her infant on the ground below climbed up it to reach her. These researchers suggested that, unlike other ape species, gorillas primarily use tools to overcome physical obstacles rather than to acquire food. So gorillas do seem to use tools and use them very proficiently. And in captivity, this has been observed even more extensively. Studies have demonstrated their ability to use sticks to extract food from various devices. And researchers have documented the spontaneous use of sticks to attain food from out-of-reach locations. Infant gorillas learn how to use tools, build nests, and other behaviors by watching and imitating the others in the group, in particular their mothers. In fact, family groups are tightly bonded and spend evenings grazing, playing, and resting together. And one of the most important factors in this group's bonding and success is the leader of the group, the silverback male. This was exemplified by a study carried out to investigate how young gorillas fared if their mothers died early in their lives. They expected young gorillas to fare worse in life if they lost their mother. But to their surprise, this was not the case. If the babies were no longer dependent on their mother's milk, they did just fine.
We think this is mostly because the dominant males do a lot of caring, which is also a little bit unusual in primates. So they take on a lot of caring responsibilities. They'll have little creches of all the little gorillas that are kind of running around them or climbing up on them. And especially if there's gorillas that have lost their mothers, then they are kind of extra caring towards them, and they might share their nest at night with them, or they might carry them when they've got to move a long way. And we have found that actually the females prefer males that are much more caring towards young gorillas. So it might actually be kind of sexual selection. It might be these females that are choosing these males that are nice towards the babies, because that then helps them, reproduce more too.
And part of the social glue that keeps gorillas bound so tightly is the communication they have with one another. They do so through a variety of methods, including facial expressions, such as the play face that indicates they want to play, or well-known gestures like the beating of their chest as a sign of aggression. Dr. Joanne Tanner, who is a former volunteer companion to Coco, studied the gestures made by gorillas at the San Francisco Zoo. She categorized what she observed as either a tactile, visual, audible, or iconic gesture. She found that gestures can be unique to a group or even just to an individual. She also discovered that most of the time, gorillas used multiple gestures in a sequence, similar to a phrase or sentence. They also displayed back and forth communication, sort of like a dialogue. Based on what she saw, she surmised that gestures are an efficient way to foster social relationships. They improved social interaction and even possibly enhanced reproductive success. And gorillas are also extremely vocal.
And there are quite a big range of especially vocalizations with the gorillas that we study. We know the context they're used in, right? So often when we go into the group, we'll make these kind of grunting sounds, which are, we think at least, pretty reassuring. They're just telling the gorillas kind of where we are, and that they're like very non-threatening sounds.
And sometimes these vocalizations sound quite familiar.
One of my personal favorites is that gorillas will often hum when they're eating, and we think it might be foods that they kind of particularly enjoy.
We may not know everything that gorillas are trying to say, but sometimes it's easy to make a pretty good guess. But what more might gorillas be capable of? Some researchers think that gorilla communication skills don't stop there, that they may be able to speak with us as well, using our own language. Motivated by the pioneering work of psychologists Alan and Beatrix Gardner, who taught American Sign Language to a chimpanzee, graduate researcher Francine Patterson started teaching Coco the gorilla American Sign Language in 1972. She did this the same way you would teach a child, by modeling the sign and its meaning, and molding their hands into the correct orientation and movement. And in just a few weeks, Coco began learning to sign. She learned new signs at about the same rate as a human child. And over the course of her life, Coco spontaneously and accurately used 1,100 signs at least once, and over 300 signs at least half the days of a month, observed by 2 independent researchers. Her vocabulary ranged from basic words like food and more, to emotions like love and sorry, to concepts like obnoxious and fake. There were some signs that Coco herself modified. She did this either because of a limitation of gorilla anatomy, such as having shorter thumbs relative to their index finger than humans, or because naturally modulating it, making it bigger or faster, expressed a different emphasis or meaning. She also combined signs to represent a word she didn't know the sign for. For example, she compounded eye and hat for mask, and stuck and metal for magnet. And Coco relayed a lot more than just her wants and needs. She also communicated her feelings, revealing an empathy for other creatures. This was particularly exemplified with her love of kittens. After repeatedly asking for one, she was given a kitten that she named All Ball. She often cradled it in her arms like an infant. Later, the cat sadly died in an accident. On hearing about it, Coco signed cry, bad, frown, sad. And beyond a seeming emotional intelligence, Coco also appeared to have the ability to lie, which to scientists was a really big deal. One day, she sat on the kitchen sink and ripped it off the wall. When asked who did it, 127 kilograms Coco pointed to a member of staff who weighed 40 kilograms and blamed her. Scientists thought that at last they had found a way for an animal to communicate her own inner self, her own thoughts, feelings, and emotions, that the barrier had at last been broken. However, many have questioned whether Coco was really speaking through sign language, or rather just mimicking the signs as a means to get a reward. That she was doing nothing more remarkable than what a dog does when it's told to sit or stay. That the hand symbols she learned were empty signifiers that she learned to piece together to get what she wants, not that she actually knew what they meant. That perhaps she was just articulate enough for us to project our own ideas of what we thought she might be saying. Some say Coco's sign language has been totally debunked, but others still stand by it completely. The debate has been raging for 30 years. But personally, I feel like the real truth lies somewhere in the middle. Perhaps Coco isn't using language in the exact way we do, and perhaps we can't exactly call it language. But for the people who spent decades with Coco, it was clear that she had a level of empathy and understanding that's hard to refute. That she used phrases in unique ways and used them to articulately ask for the things that she needed. That she cared deeply for the people around her, that she seemed to make jokes and even laugh at them. And Coco's legacy is still in motion. The Gorilla Foundation is currently digitizing and analyzing thousands of hours of video footage to allow others to build on their research. Interspecies communication is a tool that allows us to understand the minds of gorillas in a way that leads to better conditions for them in captivity, increased empathy for them in the wild, where they're critically endangered, and a greater understanding of the extraordinary emotional and intellectual capabilities of our fellow great apes. And maybe
the reason that it stands out in people's memories is because there's an emotional surprise there. There's a giant gorilla with a tiny, tiny, tiny helpless kitten and being gentle and loving toward that kitten.
Coco rhymed a name for her new kitten. She called him All Ball because to her the cat looked like a little ball. Coco adored All Ball, and they spent countless hours playing together. And yet, it was by loving the little tailless kitten that